Hey guys!
Hey,
Hi,
Bonita.
Marcy. Hi, Zach. So good to see you.
Bonita, obviously, we know each other really, really well because we've been working together for a year. But I wonder if you could just tell us about SOCHAI and how the story really began for you.
My name is Bonita Sharma and I'm from Nepal. I am the co-founder and CEO of Social Change Makers and Innovators SOCHAI, which is a youth-led nonprofit organization focused on improving health and nutrition of people, particularly women, children, and girls, through innovation, education, and entrepreneurship. So I was someone who always had the self-doubt in myself, and I believed that I could never address the public health problems that I saw around me. Although it was taking lives of thousands of women and children around me. However, one significant story turned my life around and helped me find my purpose. This story is about Sangeeta, who is a mother. She lives nearby my city. So this mother, she had been trying to conceive for a really long time, and then when she finds out that she's pregnant, Sangeeta and her family is celebrating. After 9 months, she gives birth to this baby boy, and with hopes and dreams of providing the best for her child, she fed him cashew nut paste to the 2 months old kid. Technically, a mother must exclusively breastfeed for the first 6 months. However, because she didn't have this kind of knowledge, she practiced this unhealthy nutrition behavior. And unfortunately, the cashew nut paste got stuck in the child's throat and the child died. And this mother, Sangeeta, she was labeled a murderer by her own family, and then she was forced to leave her home. So, being a public health worker myself, I felt partly responsible for what had happened to Sangeeta. And it also gave me a realization that there are 1,000 more Sangeetas and there are 1,000 more Sangeeta's kids whose life are meant to be saved. So that kind of triggered and motivated me to do something about the problem that I saw in front of me. So I went around and gathered other like-minded young people like myself, and then we started coming up with these ideas to solve that problem. And that's how we came up with the idea of the nutrition bracelet or the NutriBeads, which is a low-tech tool used to educate mothers about correct way to feed their child. And by now, we have already reached out to 2,500 pregnant lactating mothers, 3,000 adolescents, and 300 community health workers with our initiatives. And I feel really proud that for someone who was always doubting myself, I've been able to create this impact with my team. And that's how SOCHAI came about.
So Bonita, obviously we've been, talking for quite a while and doing our mentoring sessions, but how did you get involved in Lead 2030?
So LEAD 2030 is an initiative of One Young World to drive progress towards the Sustainable Development Goals. Because of LEAD 2030, we were able to win £50,000 funding as well as mentorship support from RB, especially Zach and Marcy. And when we actually won, I remember I had to sit down and think what had happened, and then
I remember that first call. And I remember hearing the amazing ambition you guys have in terms of ending malnutrition by 2030 in Nepal. And I just thought, what an amazing mission to have, and something that really speaks to RB and the fight as well. So yeah, I was like, sign me up. How about you, Zach? How did you get involved?
So in 2019, I was essentially invited by RB to take part in One Young World. And I met Bonita and Neha at One Young World, and we talked, a little bit. And I really felt a connection. So I basically signed up to get to learn more about SOCHAI and essentially try and mentor SOCHAI.
I think the reason that we're here right now is because of the support and mentorship that we've received from RB from day one.
For me, we have a lot of discussions just about day-to-day things that SOCHAI are trying to achieve. Issues that are maybe there in the community, ideas around how we can kind of boost product sales, how we can make sure that the programs have the right content, who we can sell the programs to. And it's a lot, to be honest, that you guys are doing.
It's so great to have that kind of different perspective from you guys that helps us realize about our problems as well as take step towards solving that kind of problem. So I think we've been able to learn the problem-solving attitude. And I also know that we're very nice in the steps that we take. And then I think Marcy and Zach, you both have also helped us improve our communication as well as negotiation skills, as in how we should approach with other organization and what kind of terms and conditions we should set.
You guys are, you're nailing it. Like, if I think back, like the first session, I was like, okay, there's like 3 very strong women on this call. It was just so nice to see these women actually taking a stance and saying like, we're going to do right by these SDG goals and we're going to make a change. Just with your relentless optimism and drive, it also, every time Zach and I come off a call, we just feel so inspired, so humbled, and so happy to be part of it.
Then for me personally, it's caused me to kind of reflect internally about what else we could be doing more of, because for me it's been life-changing, to be honest, and it can actually have that effect on other people whilst also benefiting society.
Everything that you guys have put into your name, SOCHAI, it shows that spirit. Start things ground up. If you're not seeing happening what you want to have happen in the world, start doing something about it. And I think that's the kind of spirit that you guys carry with you. Honestly, I started this not knowing much about, to be honest, because I kind of just jumped head in. I was like, oh, what's SOCHAI? Who's Bonita? Now Zach and I are like, you know what? We're talking to a celebrity.
Yeah.
Bonita is going places.
I think my proudest moment so far in the relationship is back in September when Bonita told us for the first time that she'd won the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation Goalkeepers Progress Award. We couldn't believe that massive achievement, and we felt immensely proud to have heard from you when you mentioned that for the first time. So for me, that was a top highlight and just a super massive symbol of how far you guys have come, how far you've pushed yourselves. I think the opportunities really are pretty limitless at this time. You guys can go and actually make so much further significant changes than you have so far. And the trajectory is amazingly positive. So I think just keep going and keep pushing. And to be honest, I think we're there for you.
So Zach, should we make it official? Should we tell Bonita, look, we've been promised, 1 year with us as a mentorship team. But I think, if you'd have us and if you're not sick of us, we'd love to keep continuing to be your mentorship team, and to just be involved and to be here as a support system and as a mentoring team.
Yeah.
One more year.
One more year.
If we were to vote among our SOCHAI team members, you guys would get 10% vote. So don't worry at all. You guys are always welcome.
10%?
100%.
I was like, oh.
Satisfaction so low. Yeah, I think that's a pretty nice segue really into what's next and what the future is. So maybe Bonita, you tell us a bit more about what's coming up for SOCHAI.
I really believe that the achieving 2030 agenda in the current context will require strong partnership between young people and all the stakeholders, such as RB themselves. And when young people and such companies come together, and when we are treated as partners and not just mere beneficiaries, I think we can do a lot of wonders.
And I think with enough people like you guys, things like this can be achieved. Zero hunger in 2030 feels like such a big goal, but it just takes more people to get involved, and people like you and your team, Nea, Eva, yourself, and all those volunteers, all those new youth volunteers that you've been able to bring on board. It just takes these people to do that, and that for me is like beyond what I would have been able to conceive when I started this. So really well done.